Good evening. Today I was just thinking about just blessings and how I need to be more observant of the small things. And not that I'm not, but I want to be more observant because I feel like sometimes I can get caught up in like complaining about things, and like every day that I wake up is a blessing, and when I'm healthy, that's a blessing. I have a roof over my head and food to eat, and that's a blessing. And God always comes through, and He is always faithful and always provides for whatever I need one way or another. Like, I don't have to worry about not being taken care of. Like, God has always come through. And just thinking about that today reminded me of the story in 2 Kings chapter 4, when it talks about Elisha and the woman and her 2 sons, and how her husband passed away, and he was faithful to the Lord. And he was in debt, and the mom was like getting nervous because the creditors were going to come take her sons away from her and make them slaves. And Elisha told her, how can I help you? And he's like, what do you have in your house? And she said all she had was just a small jar of oil. And he told her to go out and grab all of the jars from her neighbors. And he specifically said, don't just grab a few. And I thought that was really interesting when I first read it. And so she did, and they poured the oil, and they filled multiple jars until there were no jars left. And when there were no jars left, the oil was gone. And it's just amazing to me, she was able to pay off her debts and keep her children. And it's just amazing to me how faithful God is and how sufficient He truly is for us. And He does have our best interests in mind, and that doesn't mean that things are going to go perfect and 100% all the time, because most likely they're not going to. But it's up to us to remember the things that we do have and the blessings that we do have. And there's people who are going through a lot worse than my worst day could be someone's, not even someone's worst day, if that makes sense. My worst day could be someone's best day, and that's really sad to think about. But I've just been thinking a lot about God's provision and just how sufficient He is. And He gives us what we need. And He'll never ever let us down. The Bible says He'll never leave us or forsake us, and that's so true. And through this experience and posting these videos, I've been faced with a few opportunities to put my whole entire trust in the Lord, and it's been scary, but it's been amazing. And it's not that I've seen immediate results, but I know that God has a plan, and I know that everything will come about in its right time, and I just need to keep being obedient to God. And everything else is gonna work out one way or another. So that's just kind of something that I wanted to leave at the table. It's just to always remember the things that God has done in your life, and don't look past those things. No matter how small you might think they are, they're still huge. They're still huge. When you I don't know if this sounds morbid, but when you make it home from driving somewhere without a crash or whatever, like, that's a blessing. Because crazy, crazy things happen, and you have to be thankful, and you need to have a thankful heart regardless of your circumstance, because it could always be worse, and we have a lot to thank God for. And it's just kind of taking inventory of those things. Like, what are those things in your life that big or small, to me, I'm understanding more and more that blessings are blessings, and it doesn't matter the size of it. Blessings are blessings, and yeah. And sometimes we don't even deserve them, and God's like, you know what, I'm gonna give this to you, and it just blows my mind. But anyway, just a short little video. I don't want to I feel like the Bible speaks for itself, but that's just something little that I learned from it. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Vikings are not going to the Super Bowl. It was such a sad game to watch, but still love my team, still love the Vikings, and better luck next year. But I hope that those who watch it had a wonderful Sunday, and I hope that tomorrow everybody is safe and has safe travels, and yeah, have a good night.